everybody.
Hello, everybody. And welcome to a new episode of Don't Blame Me.
Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you guys next time. I thought I was saying it wrong when you went up to us. Like, what did I do wrong?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Don't Blame Me.
I'm Melissa.
No, you're not. You're Meghan.
It's improv. You have to say yes to everything. You can also tell by our voices. It's an M&M episode, guys.
Yeah.
We're back, bitches. That means, you know what that means? That means if you're not listening to headphones, grab your fucking headphones.
Yeah.
Grab them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, if you want to call in for an upcoming episode, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners can leave us an audio message. Email it to us at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Any other housekeeping stuff?
No, nothing I can think of.
No?
We usually do some type of little
I know. What's our bit?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know when
People enjoy it.
Wait, what are we going to do for your birthday?
I forgot about that.
Fucking shit, dude.
It's almost your birthday, basically.
It is. This is the time of year where I start thinking about my birthday. Well, our Facebook group's been popping.
It has been.
I do want to say a couple of Facebook housekeeping things.
Okay.
So we've got 3 questions to answer to get into our Facebook group. I want to say we're not asking. If we don't ask for it, don't feel like you need to give it to us. Some people have been like, oh, I feel like I need to answer this as like I don't know, like tone wise, like a specific thing.
Just be you.
No, our second question, we say lackluster. And lackluster is essentially like a synonym for boring and like, eh. Like we're not asking you for an essay. We're just asking for be genuine.
Yeah, be genuine and like
and actually
answer the full question. Don't just be like, I'll post.
Yeah,
that's not an answer.
No, think about it in like a test for school. It's not like a fill in the there's 2 fill in the blank questions, and then we're not asking for an essay response,
right? But
we're asking for complete sentences addressing it. We need a beginning, middle, conclusion. It can be 2 sentences.
Yeah, I mean
3
Facebook
sentences.
Limits it. I think it's only 120 characters or something.
But we want it to be in complete full sentences because it's not hard to get into the group.
No.
And then the other thing I'll say is you're not going to get any, and this is something that I used to do on tests in high school, so I understand. But if you write 5 different options and you just write question marks at the end, hoping one of them is going to stick, even if you have the right one there, we're not going to accept.
Yeah.
Just pick one and don't do a question mark. And then if you don't get in, reapply and change what that answer was if you weren't totally sure of it, or go back and listen to the rest of the episodes because the answers are so easy once you listen to the episodes, but we just want you to be confident in your answers that you know. And again, we're only doing this because we care about the safety and security of everybody in the group because there's lots of sensitive topics in there, and we want to make sure that we're vetting accurately. So we want everyone to get in. Our goal is not to exclude anyone. Our goal is to only have people who are in who are we feel have listened for long enough that we can really trust them with our audience and their problems too. Because we're essentially giving you kind of I don't want to say our job, but what we're doing on the podcast, it means everyone else has a voice in there too. And so we just want to make sure that
it's a safe place.
Yeah. So it's the
respectful place.
It's for everybody else's benefit too, including you. So, and again, most people apply multiple times before they get in. And sometimes you just forget to answer the questions. So no hard feelings. Just keep applying. We don't have any personal vendettas against anyone unless you got kicked out. And if you got kicked out, you got kicked out for a reason. And it's not an ego reason. It's because you were something bad to somebody else, or you said, I'm just here to listen and hear everyone else's crazy stories and be nosy. And I'm not going to contribute anything. And then I'm like, okay, bye. Get out of here. But yeah, it's a good time. And if you can't find the Facebook group,
I don't know what to tell you.
Girl, I don't know. There wouldn't, if it was hard to find, there wouldn't be over 1,800 people in it. So that's all there is on that. And should we hop into it?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hi, Megan. Hi, Melissa and possible guest. I'm 21. My boyfriend is 21 as well. Just for reference, I am an Aquarius and my boyfriend is a Scorpio. And basically, the other night, my boyfriend sat me down and we just had a talk, and he said that his friends have come to him saying that they think that I don't like them, or they're not sure if I like them, and they think I'm not a very welcoming person, and I just don't even know how to react to this. I don't know if there's something that I need to change about myself. I don't know. I just don't know. And I don't know why they think that, because I always thought that everything was really cool between me and his friends. And I mean, his friends are from his job that he only works at during the summer. So like, I haven't even seen them since the summer. So I don't know like why this was brought up now, but I don't know. I'm actually have been looking into going to therapy recently for the past like month or so, just for mental health reasons, just clearing my head. And now I really think I should, because I don't know if this is just something that I'm doing wrong, but I don't know. Any help would be great. Thanks.
Weird mood.
Fellow Aquarius here, and I've heard this quite a lot.
About you?
Yeah. That, first of all, a lot of people want to be my friend. I don't know why.
It's very fucking true.
and then I've always, like, they want to be my friend, but then they're like, you don't seem like you want to be my friend or that you're friendly, and I think I'm being friendly.
Yeah.
But it's just the way that I come off.
I love the way you come off, because we're the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know. I have questions. Like, if it's a summer job and you haven't seen them since the summer, has he seen them since the summer?
Right. And are they avoiding you because they don't want to see you?
I mean, I definitely, like, I've dealt with it, like, not like in Monts saying like, oh, my friends don't like you, but I've always had my own group of friends, and most of his friends, it's couples. So like, there's a lot of stuff that like, oh, if he's gonna go like watch the Super Bowl or go do something with like the group of friends, it's all the guys and all the girls. But if it's like a Saturday and he's like, hey, you want to like come watch a fucking sports game? And I'm like, oh, it's cool. Melissa and I have plans. Like, we're gonna go. And it's like, I have my own separate life, so I'm not necessarily spending a ton of time with them. So I've gotten before like, oh, we wish you would like come around more. Does she like want to hang? And like Monts will always be like, oh no, she just has her own group of friends. Mm-hmm. So I do wonder if are they offended because you're not hanging out with them as much? And like, maybe like all of their girlfriends, and I've had friends who are in the same situation where like they have their own group of friends, but their boyfriend's friend group involves all of their girlfriends too. And so then it becomes like oh, you are the odd one out. And so they can't really fathom that like, it's because you have your own individual group of friends. So I do wonder if that might be it. But like, I don't know if he couldn't like cite any specific things that you've said or whatever, but I would question why he told you without just automatically telling them like, oh no, she really likes you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I always, and obviously I preach honesty, but sometimes I think if your partner's bringing something up to you that, I don't know, like that if there is no like validity to it, I think that he should have kind of just shut it down and not brought you into it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just, like, if his friends were like, hey, does she, like, I feel like she doesn't like us. And he was like, no, she really likes you guys. Like, she's been, like, super busy with, like, work and stuff. And then I wouldn't bring it up and be like, hey, like, they think you don't like, because, like, I don't know, it's kind of setting you up for, I think if I were you, I would also be wondering, does my boyfriend think that I don't like them too?
Right.
And maybe he does. Like, maybe he's, like, he feels like you're not as involved in his, like, friend life as he wants you to be. But, I mean, I think it's just about, like, managing expectations and like asking him what he wants. Because if he's happy with it, then who really cares?
And do you want to be friends with him? Like,
yeah,
if you don't really want to be friends with them, I'm just like, okay, I don't want to be friends with them, so why do they want to be friends with me?
I truly have never understood that concept.
Yeah,
I don't get it, because I'm like, I don't give off the vibe that I like want to be your friend. Like, how are you where are you getting this from? And then if I want to be your friend, I will tell you. That's what I told Cammie Crawford. I was like, I want to be your friend. And she was like, okay, for sure. I was like, I don't say that a lot. Rarely. But yeah, I don't know. And I think like if you want to go to therapy, I think that's like a great idea.
Yeah, that's a separate thing. But
totally.
Yeah, I think you should.
I think as long as you have your own group of friends, and then I wouldn't worry about like how you're coming across to like people like that. I just don't think it's, I think it's like they might have I don't know. Yeah. Expecting something else and different out of you. But I think as long as you have friends and you know that like, oh no, I'm not like isolating myself from everybody. I don't have any friends. Then I think you're totally fine. And I think they might just be a little too sensitive.
That's their problem.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, you're talking to an Aquarius and Aquarius rising here where we're like, and also if someone was like, they don't think that you don't like them and like that you don't want to be their friend. Like my responsibility is like, well, we're not friends. I probably am like, cool, you're fine. But like, I don't really want to be your close friend. Is that okay?
Also, I haven't seen you in 6 months. Well, like almost a year at this point. I don't care.
That's so weird. Like, are you supposed to FaceTime once a week? Yeah.
Like if I wanted to be your friend, then I would be your friend.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I do think it's odd. And I also don't think you have to, I don't know. I think there's also some people though, that like they're either friends with people or they hate people. They don't have like an in-between, which like I have tons of in-between people
me too.
that I'm like, I really get along with you when I see you, but like, no, I'm not gonna like hang out. And that's not me being an asshole. It's just like, I think you're like a great person, really cool, but like, I'm not gonna like move you from one bracket to the other.
Right.
Like we can just stay here and be fine and like not have any issues.
When we see each other, it's great.
And like, I'll see you at all these like mutual group stuff and like, we'll have a great time. We'll like talk but it doesn't mean that we need to like be best friends.
Like I have a ton of friends that like I may see them once a year, but we're still friends and we keep in contact with, but I don't see, they're not like my friend Catherine, who I'm going to go sit on her couch on a random day of the week, you know? And
I just don't think I think there's a lot of people who don't have,
in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love a good in between. I don't have the bandwidth to have lots and lots and lots of friends.
Yeah.
It's a lot of effort. Best of luck. I hope it all works out. I'd love to know like any more. I know this isn't like a crazy juicy one, but I don't know. I'm just like a nosy and I would like to know some like more information about it. And best of luck with therapy. Go do it. It's a good time. Hell yeah. On to the next one.
Hi, Meghan and Melissa and guest. So I'm going to try and get this out in under 3 minutes. So I'm 24 years old. I am a registered nurse. I work at a hospital and I just wanted your advice on the little situation. So I haven't had like too many serious relationships. I was really focused on school for a long time. And I kind of feel like I was ready for one. I just like honestly haven't been on a ton of dates. So I went on Tinder, wanted to like meet some people, go on some first dates, kind of see what happened. So I ended up going on a date with a medical student and I liked him. He was cool and nice. I didn't like feel much initial chemistry or like sparks at all. But I kind of wanted to give him a shot for a little bit, just like a couple dates, see where it went. So at the same time, I met a second guy at a party in person. Turns out he's also a doctor. So he's a graduate doctor. He just finished medical school.
And wearing a nylon blazer, like a windbreaker?
Like connected. There was sparks. I felt like we had chemistry. I thought he was quite attractive. And turns out he was actually like working on the service where I work at the hospital. So I ended up seeing him a lot at work. We just talked. He was very flirty. But basically this whole time I had convinced myself when I met him that he was way out of my league. Like way out of my league. So I didn't like think about it much. I thought he's just flirty overall. Like lots of guys are flirty. So didn't think too much of it. Some time went by and then I went on a few more days with the first guy and ended up ending things with him. He was getting just like way too serious, way too fast for me. And I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel any chemistry. So some more time went by and then I found out through my mutual friends that the second guy, the doctor, I guess had asked, when he met me, he had asked around my mutual friends and, people like if I was single, who I was dating, what my relationship status was like. And they told me this and I felt like a bit confused about it. And I didn't really know what to think. Maybe he's just curious. So the other piece is, so he matched me on Tinder and I'm pretty sure that he liked me on there, swiped right, like probably pretty early on when I met him, not recently, because at this point, like a month has gone by and I just am confused because I don't know how to feel. And so I messaged him on Instagram before I even realized that we had matched on Tinder. And after I ended things with the first guy, just to like have a conversation basically. And then we did for a little bit and then he just stopped responding. So that was also confusing. I just don't know how to feel. I know that he's like dating around and seeing other people on Tinder. He's kind of pulled back. I don't see him at work as much anymore. And I just don't know if it's worth shooting my shot at this point. Okay. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Tell me if I'm being ridiculous. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Wow. How do you guys have any time to get these things done, like stuff done? Maybe because you work such long shifts.
Well, if you watch shows like Grey's Anatomy or General Hospital, then you'd know that there's things like on-call rooms. There's a lot of waiting.
Yeah. It's just like, no wonder why you're so meticulously, you have to be organized and like, very like diligent in the medical field. And like, no one, like, of course it like falls into your dating. Like I would have been done so long ago. It's just so much.
It is. And what were you doing? What was all that movement? It was a lot.
Yeah. Are you wearing a windbreaker?
And like making something?
Yeah. You're like cooking dinner in a windbreaker and running shorts. I also love your voice. Dating's not this hard. Like one person. Like I think dating as a whole is like this is like stuff that you go through, but I don't think, I don't know. You to me sound like you're kind of like you've turned over 1,000 stones and there's 1,000 left. And you're like, should I turn over the rest? And it's like, wait, feel like we're good. Do you like, I don't think that it's going to be this difficult. And I think like, if you've already had this much luck of like 2 hot doctors, then.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on Tinder, it's proximity. So you're most likely going to be matching with people that are in the hospital.
Yeah.
So maybe if you don't want all this drama inside the hospital, don't start swiping till you exit. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I would advise on that. I just think that like, I wouldn't read too much into him asking your friends if you were single. I think that's a good... you can't know that if that's because he was serious about you, or maybe he had recently talked to a girl who wasn't single and like was just kind of, or he saw that you had mutual friends. I've done that before. Like when I was on dating apps, that it wasn't even like I was asking because I was interested. It's like, oh, I saw we had a mutual friend. Oh, is this person cool? Should I even swipe right on that? Like I'd ask for their opinion, but it doesn't mean something super serious. I think you've already shot your shot. That doesn't work. I don't like that. You've already shot your shot.
You've already shot. Just ended there.
Yeah, but like I want a past tense because like shoot your shot, shot your shot.
Shot is shot. It's past tense.
I know, but it's just I don't know. It doesn't roll off the tongue in the same way. I think you've already done that. You know what I mean? Like if that's what you're asking for.
Yeah, like and he's interested. So
yeah, I think if he's pulling away and you guys aren't really talking as much, that's your answer. It's not a couple months ago when we first started talking, he asked other people if I was single. To me, that sounds like friends who are in relationships who are kind of like latching on to like fun drop. Like, let's talk about it. Woo. I think it's more just gossip at that point. And I don't think those people are necessarily saying that for anything other than like they're bored and they want to make an office romance. So I would, like you said, I would probably wait and start swiping other places, meet some other new people. Because I mean, even if you think someone's out of, I don't know. I also didn't like that. Like I thought he was really out of my league. And as if like that's the reason why it ended, essentially like implying that you kind of like self-sabotaged it because like he's too good for you. I just think that like you should never feel like that in a relationship. And I truly don't think that no matter how hot or attractive someone is, as soon as they talk to you and you have a conversation with them, if they're like a good guy or the person who you're supposed to be with or whatever, you're not going to feel like they're too good for you. But I think if you were able to talk to him and you still kind of had that feeling, like that's intentional on his part. That's kind of like a putting up a barrier a little bit, making you work for it to an extent that's not great. You never want to feel like, oh my God, thank you for gracing me with your presence. And even from afar, yeah, you see someone who's like so hot and so like cool or whatever, and then you talk to them and suddenly you're like, yeah, they're not like this like mystical, like gorgeous creature anymore because like I had a real conversation with them and like now I see them for them. And I think if that like you still kind of felt that way, I don't think that's not on you. I think that's kind of like how he probably was acting.
Right.
It doesn't mean he's not a nice guy. I think it just means that he is okay with you thinking that he's kind of like God's gift to
which most doctors think they are.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Literally. Playing God. But love doctors. That's not slighted at all.
No.
But it
Anybody
is like...
want to slide into my DMs? Go ahead.
I would love if you dated a doctor.
I have dated a doctor for a while.
No, I mean like now.
Yeah.
Who do I want you to date now? I think it'd be really fun.
Michael B. Jordan.
No.
Yep.
Literally no. I don't know what we would do. I don't want to talk about it. It's like really making me upset.
In the now.
Stop.
Right now.
No. I think I would like if you dated a lawyer. I was thinking who would be fun. Like who could keep up, and selfishly.
Yeah.
Who would join us?
Shared a couple of her lawyer friends and they just weren't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's been trying to hook me up with people.
I just feel like it would be like a good, I don't know. You know, we need someone like cynical.
Yeah.
Who's funny and smart, who's going to add to it.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that.
So that's why I was like leaning towards like someone who like is in the industry, but kind of has like the, I understand it. And like I'm not invalidating its existence or your job, but that's not my job.
You need so you mean specifically entertainment lawyer?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're a nurse. You're like you've got your shit together. Broaden your horizons too, because this also wasn't unintentional on any of their anyone's part for kind of backing away. That's conscious. So like it's not like whatever happened to that girl. Like if he wanted to if he was into you, you would know, and there's a reason why it fizzled out. So I would say save your ego, let it fizzle out. It's not like your like dramatic true love story that needs a lot of effort on your part, because it's also just only effort on your part. He could do he could shoot his shot again with you. So best of luck.
Lob his shot. How do you feel about that?
Lob his shot. Sure, like a lobotomy,
because you wanted something past that.
Lob past.
Yeah, you can like lob something in the air, so lob your shot.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure. It also sounds vaguely medical too, because lobotomy.
Yeah.
Lob your shot. Blob your blob.
Well, it was like you've already shot your shot. You want to say that. So I said, what if you lob your shot?
Okay.
I was just putting it out there.
No.
You're not too excited about it. So
I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm
not going to lie to you. I don't know if I'm going to remember it. Also, I think my baby toe's broken again, or I have a corn. I really can't tell the difference. What's the difference between a corn and a broken toe?
A lot.
Okay. Will you look at it?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't show you now.
I hate it, but I'll look at it.
Thanks. Okay. I just can't tell if it's broken. But like baby toes are always broken.
Yeah.
So like
your feet are like the only feet I can like tolerate looking at.
Which is funny because they're just hideous.
Because they're out there all the time.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I've desensitized you to them. Yeah. They are like, they're very feet. They don't look like hands. You know, some people have like very like
long toes.
Yeah. I mean, I have long toes, but I also have big toes.
They still like feet though.
Yeah, they do. Like it's a foot. Good talk. Congratulations on being a nurse. I would like to know what you think of the TikTok stereotype that all nurses were bitches in high school. Would like to know that. Like that nurses were the mean girls. Well,
we've been done with that one.
Let's do the next one.
I'm 25 years old and I've been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years now. I was just listening to your most recent podcast, and I know you give a lot of advice on blowjobs, and my problem is that I really don't like saliva or cum. I think it's just like a textural issue. I also don't like a lot of foods with like that same texture. I don't know what it is. Like when you were giving advice and saying like, oh, like the wetter the better, like in my head I just started gagging. It really like disgusted me. I give blowjobs to my boyfriend pretty much every time we have sex, but it's more of like like blow him and then we start having like penetration. And he usually finishes inside me like in a condom, just because I really don't like the texture of cum in my mouth. And it's okay if like there's a little bit of spit, but like when it gets like too wet and too sloppy, like it just start gagging and like I get completely turned off. I don't know what it is. I've always hated saliva ever since I was little, so I don't think it's like something that has to do with my like sexual preferences. I think it's literally just the textural thing. So yeah, I just wanted to know your point of view on that. I really just want him to be able to finish in my mouth, because I know like he tells me it's not a problem, but I know he wants to finish in my mouth. And another side note is that he takes a long time to finish. So that's like another thing that turns me off, is
giving too long of blowjobs should probably take about like 20 to 30 minutes. Whereas in the past, I have given other people blowjobs and they finished in my mouth really quickly in like 5 minutes. So yeah, I hope you can give me some advice on this because I don't know how I can better pleasure my boyfriend. And yeah.
Wait, you're doing fine. Like,
if you don't want to do something, don't do it.
I also think that, like, I really hate this whole narrative of like, oh, I've had a conversation with my boyfriend and my boyfriend has said that it's fine, but I know it's not. Like, no, listen to him. Like, it's not like one of those things of like, oh, like he says it's okay if I don't want to, if he doesn't finish in my mouth. And like, I know deep down, like that really doesn't change the experience that much. Like, that's not, if it was a deal breaker, you should trust your partner enough to like let you know. But like, I don't think he doesn't sound unhappy with his sex life at all. And like you're saying that you give a blowjob almost every time and like you really hate saliva and wetness and you're already doing, like, I feel like you're already doing so much.
You're doing so much that you don't want to do. If you don't want to do it, but you're still comfortable doing it, then continue doing what you're doing. But not,
why are you trying to do more?
Why are you doing more? Like you can, I mean, I know you don't like hand jobs, but like if you don't want him in your mouth and the saliva, you could lube up your hand and give a hand job and point his jizz towards him. You know, like it doesn't have to, you don't have to use saliva or have come on you or anything.
Yeah, but I do think it's a liquid thing. She said some foods too. Oh, I guess maybe if it's in your mouth, but versus like you said, it's okay if a little bit gets on you. But yeah, I don't know why we're gonna go from like, oh, I really hate like I have this like, and it's a phobia, and that's not like not even making like fun of that or anything like that. Like it's just I've got random weird phobias that I will not disclose here because I don't want anyone to use them against me. But there's like nothing wrong with that, and like again, like when we talk and like people are like, well, if a guy said he wasn't going to go down on you, and it's like, okay, well, cool. You've already had a conversation with your boyfriend. It doesn't sound like it's a deal breaker. If I had a conversation with a guy who had a phobia of wetness and was like, so I'm never going to go down on you, I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's a deal breaker for me personally. So it's not like a double standard, but like you've already had this conversation with your boyfriend. It doesn't, I think you're kind of putting it like ideas in it, like words in his mouth that like, oh no, he said it was fine, but I know it's really not. But like, yeah, I don't know why we're going from, I really like, I can manage to give a blowjob like essentially every time we have sex, but I really like don't like cum in my mouth. So how do I start liking cum in my mouth?
There's no way.
No,
you're not gonna like it. There's not like a magic pill that you can take and it's like, ooh, wetness.
And it's not just like, oh, suck it up and deal. Like it'll get better. I think I think your boyfriend's fine with how everything's going, and I think that you are kind of expecting a different answer. And so I think you're thinking that he wasn't being truthful and honest with that. And yeah, just talk to him more. Like just be like, do you really mean that? Is it like really okay? But I've like never met a guy who's like pissed if he can't like come in your mouth. Like, okay. And like, if it's other parts of your body, like if that still grosses you, like if he can come somewhere else, but like, I don't know. I also like I can't
condoms
really
too. Yeah,
I can't really get. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can give a blowjob with a condom on. And there's flavored ones.
There's flavored ones.
But if it might be gross feeling in our mouth too. If there's also like if it's like pre-lubricated. Yeah. I also just like I don't know if you're like asking for blood because you're like he's never been able to like finish and like it takes too long. I don't have any blowjob tips that don't involve wetness, so. Maybe it's just that, and I think the solution to the problem is like a blowjob is a part of like foreplay with you guys, but that's just not where he finishes.
Exactly.
And so it's not giving up anything, and like you're not like withholding anything. It's like the same thing that like if you're like not on like if I don't know, like it's the same thing of being like, yeah, I don't want you to come inside me. Like, and
it's
so
the
like,
same thing.
We'll just
it's
do
inside my mouth.
Yeah. Just like, don't come inside my vagina. And that's just like okay. But, yeah.
That's the solution. Yeah. That's a great solution.
Yeah. I don't think it's, again, I would also just have another conversation with him and let him know how you're like still feeling. And I'm sure he can be like, oh, whoa, no, I'm really like, I wasn't kidding. Like I'm saying it's fine because it's not like a wild, I don't think it's like a crazy wild thing at all. And again, if it's not a deal breaker for him, if it's a deal breaker for him, that's fine too.
Right.
but it's not. So then I don't think we need to treat it like it is and that you're like, oh, I need to pleasure him. Like, you're already doing, like...
He's happy.
Yeah. And are you happy? Right. Are you having a good time too?
Right. If you're uncomfortable and not enjoying it, then why are you doing it?
Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah.
I also just like, I don't think if I like I know people who've got like really, really sensitive gag reflexes and all of that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be like, I like giving blowjobs because I'm good at them and therefore it's fun for me. But it's not like an expectation everyone should be at.
Yeah.
Also, if I had like a normally functioning jaw, who knows if I'd be so good and if I'd like it so much. It really pops in and out. Yeah, I wouldn't stress about this.
Me either.
I think we solved your problem. So easy. Well, best of luck. Have safe sex and don't get pregnant unless you want to. Woohoo! On to a break. Wow, we're on to a break, guys, and we'll be back.
We're back and on to the next. That's
Love
my
it.
impression.
Great. You did it. I'm doing it again. I was too busy yawning over here.
Hey, Meghan, Melissa. So I'm 23 and I was talking to this guy on Hinge and he messaged me. He's like really cute. Like, and we were talking about other things too. He asked for my number and so we ended up setting up a first date and we were texting. So you go on the first date and it's like, awesome, like not terrible at all, which is so surprising. There was no gaps in conversation. He like we split food. He like asked for 2 boxes so I could take them home, and we kissed at the end, and it was great. And he's like, "Yeah, we should totally do this again. Totally do this again. Totally do this again." And I'm like, "Okay." And so we were texting, and so we set up a second date. We go bowling. It's just fun because none of us knew what we were doing. And so I was like, so what does the winner get? And he's like, the winner can pick our third date. And I was like, okay. And so he's like, you should like, he just got a new apartment. So he's like, you should come over and we should like watch like a Disney movie or something. And I was like, okay, cool. And like, we actually talked about deeper stuff that time. And like, it was just like nice. Like we just like clicked. And so we just like click, I don't know, but so we're texting and then I went out of town and then he was busy, but we're all still texting throughout this and like it's fine. And then a couple days ago, we were having a conversation and I asked a question on the last bit and he didn't respond. And then I said, hey, a day later and he didn't respond. And then I asked him, I was like, so like, are we still hanging out this week? Like, I just want to know. And then he says, I'm sorry, I'm just not in the right place for a relationship. You're really nice. This isn't fair to you, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, okay. Thanks for not ghosting me, I guess, which was nice. But I was like, did I do something wrong? Because it was just like so sudden. And he's like, no, I had fun. Like, I just didn't want to like lead you on. He's like, I'm sorry if I led you on. And I was like, well, yeah, you kind of did because you initiated everything. And then I was like, he was like, thanks for understanding. And I was like, yeah, like I liked you, but like, whatever, I guess. And so like, my question is like, how do you date, but like not get like too attached? I don't know, but yeah, cause like that hurt, but yeah. Thanks.
Oh, I feel like I feel really guilty because I've been him.
So have I.
Yeah.
So let's answer it from why we do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah. So yeah, from his perspective, when I've been in the situation, I don't think I also hate the term leading someone on. I think that's not a fair thing to accuse anyone of unless it's like, I don't know, like leading someone on to think that they're going to like leave their wife and their children.
Yeah.
Unless someone's like giving you misleading information. I don't think this is that case because like also dates, you're getting to know somebody. So one date, I can have a really great date, and then the second one is really great. The third one, like, it's really great, but like I've gotten to know you more, and now I can make a decision of, yeah, I'm not that interested in pursuing something more long term. So like one date doesn't mean, any good date doesn't mean that that's your person, or that there's a commitment to something else. And even him pursuing and like wanting to hang out more, it's him getting to know you. And it's not like an offensive thing that like once he got to know you, he like wasn't that down. But I think there's like a multitude of reasons. It could have been like you guys really got along, but the same way that like, I don't know, you get along with like friends or something like that, because like you're just meeting for the first time, and like you don't have romantic feelings for everyone that you're friends with, and you know that because you know them. And so the thing with dating apps is you're essentially meeting them, and you're going based off of attraction first, and then you're meeting them and getting to know their personality, and then you learn that who they are, and then you figure out that combo. And if that combo is there and it's more attraction, then you're probably going to be into them. And then if it's like less, and not because like they don't think you're attractive, it's just based on like what they're into and like what they're looking for. But I've also like dated people and then started talking to rekindling kind of with an ex or someone else. Like I have been dating multiple people, and that it's just not that. So it's not like personal at all. And I think that was like nice of him to explain, like, there is nothing like wrong and like you didn't do anything wrong. It's just, it's really hard when you get rejected to think about that you do that to other people too, because it feels so different. You're like, no, well, that's it. And I've been in that position where like, and you're like, what? And I was like, well, I do that to people too. So like, if you think about it that same way, and I don't think it was misleading for him wanting to get to know you more, because
that's how you make your full like judgment about somebody. Like, are you dating like to date? Are you dating to fall in love? Are you dating like to get married? Maybe you guys had different views on what this relationship was going to be. Yeah. And like for you not to like get attached too quickly, that's just on you. That's something you're gonna have to like, I'm just going on this date to have a good time. I'm not going to like find my soulmate. I would talk to my friends about it who are more like this, and I would treat it, I would told them, I was like, it's like an audition. When I go into an audition, I'm trying to have a good audition. I'm not trying to book the role. I'm not trying to get a call back. But if I get a call back, I'm going to try and do a good callback. Like, I'm not looking so far ahead, because I can't control the other half of it. Right. And I think that's the big thing. I think you can do like your whole selection process of who you date, and not dating people. And like, you can even like vet in the beginning of like messaging and be like, oh, what are you looking for? And if they're like, and that's not going to make anyone run away unless they don't want a relationship. Like, it's only going to it's only going to get rid of the people who like, you're going to get rid of eventually when you ask them that question. It's not going to change if you ask them 3 dates in, or you ask them before you even go on your first date. But I would also say that and again, I've given this advice to my friends and they didn't necessarily always take it. But the thing that also is important is I think you need to, if you know you're someone who gets attached easily, you can't only date one person at a time then. Yeah. You need to date, like go on at least like, say like 3, talk to 3 people at one time, because if you get attached easily, it's not necessarily because of the person, it's because they're in front of you. And if you're getting attached easily, it doesn't really have to do with who they are. It really has to do a lot with more of your tendency. And you just need to diversify that and like have more of a pool to kind of go from, because then from there, you're also going to figure out who you like. And it's not just about, who likes me back. Yeah. Oh my God, this person likes me and they pick me. Oh, do I even actually really like them? But you should never, not never, I don't want to say that, but I found that even when when Monts and I first started like talking, I literally like essentially like pulled out my old little black book of being like, okay, I got to talk to like 5 different guys at the same time and like go out and like really, so I can know that if I like Monts, it's because it's him. And also it's going to put a lot less pressure on this to like work out necessarily. And also I'm going to like brush up on my flirting skills and like really like, I don't know, get my shit together and feel like on lock for that stuff. And so then for the person that I'm super into, and you're allowed to like, you know, rank your bench and like have your favorite people. But I think it does put a lot less pressure on it. And that, because I think you do get, if you're only talking to one person and it is relatively casual,
just mathematically, like statistically, this is going to happen. And so if you find yourself getting devastated, even though I don't think dating multiple people is going to completely eradicate that feeling, it's going to be, I think you'll feel a lot better because you're not putting all of your energy and effort into one person, because truthfully, they're not doing that with you either. Right. So play, like, I don't want to say it's a game, but like, I mean, it do what they're doing. Like, they're play it the same like way that they're essentially playing it. And they're not playing it to be a dick or to play a game. Like, they're just playing the field. And I always think you should also be playing the field, because I just think you can get way too invested in someone, and not even necessarily because you like them, but just kind of because you want to be the one they pick. Yeah. So that's what I would say. And do your best to like be casual about dating. Like, I don't know, if you need to like mute them on social media, like, so you're not seeing all of their posts all the time.
Don't follow them if you're just now starting to date them.
That's true. If you're from a dating app, like, don't do that. Like, keep your texts like minimal in between. Like, don't text them all throughout the day. Like, just like check yourself and kind of hold back a lot. And if someone's saying a lot of things that seem too good to be true on the first, second, and third date, know that they probably are a little bit too good to be true. Like, someone should be into you, but not to an extent where you don't know them well enough yet and they don't know you well enough yet. So I would just take it slow. But I think the biggest thing is the selection process. So you can get rid of anyone who's not looking for a relationship in the beginning, and then talking to a good number of people. My friends, like they've met like a lot of my friends, the guys that they've ended up dating for long periods of time, were in that group of guys that was like their bench or whatever, but was never necessarily the first one. Like, it was someone who's like, oh, this was my number 3. And then I actually really ended up being into him. And then my number 1 and 2 kind of, I was like, not so much. And they drifted away.
Because in the beginning, you're not showing your true self.
Exactly.
So if you're taking your time to get to know somebody, you'll eventually get to like who they actually are. And so like the ones that were your favorite at first, they probably aren't really your favorite. It's just like they're putting on the best show.
Yeah. Or it's to someone you're automatically like attracted to the most. And also those people, like the higher they start, the more they have to fall from that. And I just think that this is, and swipe a lot, stay on the apps. But I would love to know what your sign is.
Yeah, she cares a lot.
I think Sydney's not listening to this. I think you're a Cancer. My best friend Sydney's a Cancer.
You say her all the time when it's like emotional people. So
no, this is true. But her boyfriend had heard this was not like, she then eventually she started dating more. But she's like a very committed person, and it was never even like she would just choose to do it because she would just really like someone and then be like, oh yeah, no, I just don't really like want to put the time and energy into multiple people. And then she started putting energy into multiple people, and then her current boyfriend was one of those people who then she ended up liking the most. And it was like,
Meghan, I am so mortified. I just need some reassurance, okay? So basically, I'm 19, I'm in college, I've never had sex before or anything. I want to gain experience. So I went on Bumble, and so the first time I met up with a guy, we just made up. Like, it wasn't, but then so today I was at this guy's house, and it was like, I do want to have sexual experience, but it was that time of month for me. So I didn't really want to do that, So I tried to give him a blowjob, and he just wouldn't come. And I don't know, I must have been really bad, but I tried to follow the advice that you gave, keeping your teeth out of the way, being relaxed. But somehow my gag reflex just kept in, and every time he went in deep, I thought I was gonna throw up. So I kept pushing him out, and every time I kept trying to relax, but it just didn't happen, and he just didn't come. And then I felt so bad after, and then I just left, and I feel so mortified. And can you tell me is this abnormal? Are there other girls out there who've tried to give blowjobs and it just doesn't work, I just feel so mortified, and now I'm not even sure I want to keep going through with this whole Bumble thing. And I just feel, and now the guy goes to my college, and he's in my field, so I hope that I don't see him again. And I just really need at least some reassurance, please. I tried, and it just didn't work. It just wasn't happening, and I feel really bad. So can you tell me, please, if I'm, thanks, bye.
You skip steps.
Dude.
You are not at the advanced level yet.
You're not even a rookie. No, like, you're a freshman.
You're a beginner. Like, you went for the deep throat. You gagged. You weren't ready yet. No. If you were still concentrating on not using your teeth, you should have just stuck with the mouth and not throat.
And so much of the early steps was just licking and like the preamble of it to like really get them there so you don't have to be selective listening. This is on you.
Yeah.
This is on you. I'm also going to say this, like when you're like, if I'm the only one who's been, my first blowjob was not amazing. Mm-mm. That's not how it, like, even of all of our tips and stuff like that, like when we say we're giving advanced blowjob tips, it's not like, for those of you who are just like, it's not for the Virgos who can like keep notes in their head. Like it's for like, once you put in your, like Malcolm Gladwell, once you put in your 10,000 hours of sucking dick, like then you can move on to these advanced tips. But like you learn, it's riding a bike. Mm-hmm. Like you learn by doing it.
Yeah, you gotta start front of the mouth.
Yeah. And like, again, like it's, there's no shame in like not giving a great blowjob and learning how to give a blowjob. But then I would also say be selective about who you're giving blowjobs to.
Yeah.
Like that's like, I'm like very happy that so much of like my sexual experience of people that I'm like, never going to see you again. Deuces. So yeah.
True. Yeah. Get out of your major.
100% get out of your major.
Yeah.
Suck dicks with people you're not going to see. Like,
yeah. That aren't going to be on your side of campus. I don't know. Like for me, when I was in college, I mean, if I was trying not to see anybody again, I wouldn't stick in the biology science department because I'm going to see those fuckers again. Yep. I'm going to go all the way over to the Agri building.
March your ass over there, mouth wide open. Mm-hmm. Who wants their dick sucked?
Tyson School of whatever it was called.
Mike Tyson?
No, like Tyson Chicken.
Is Mike Tyson related to Tyson Chicken?
No.
Okay.
They're very white.
My God, of course they are.
Yeah.
That checks out so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's the chicken capital where I'm from. It's the chicken capital, Tyson, Springdale, Arkansas.
Yeah, I remember.
So then the school's named after them for the poultry science. Cool story.
Poultry science is a phrase I never thought I would hear.
It's a major.
It makes sense. Yeah. Sydney went to an agricultural school too, and she was like, "Oh, the agro kids."
I mean, we're not agro. It's just that's part of the university. Yeah, they have an agro
school there. I think that you're thinking that like you're treating this as like, oh, okay, like I'm 19, I'm supposed to be somewhere. Like if you're just starting to explore sexually, like your age doesn't give you an advantage. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing. Like when we talk about like orgasming and sex and all of that stuff, like what gives you an advantage is masturbating. It doesn't give you an advantage if you're like, I don't know, like 22 when you're losing virginity versus like younger than that, because like you're only gonna like in theory you can think about it all you want and like imagine it and like do as much research, but like until you're like in the game you don't really understand it. So
you gotta practice.
Yeah, you just have to practice. And like also what I don't get, like what our major tip is like asking guys what they're into. Like did you ask him what he was into or not? And I think you I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I think you really want to have some sexual experience, which is great and it's fine, but I think that you're trying to kind of like get it over with essentially, and you're not learning. Like you need to learn in the moment too. It's not learning, like it's not doing all this research beforehand then like going in.
I'm going to deep throat you tonight.
Exactly. Like you're trying to skip all these steps. And I think like the biggest thing that I would say, as much as we're like, yes, no teeth and like relax, but like be comfortable, like nerves. Like I think like if you're trying to rush through and get like out of it, like the best blowjob you're going to give is because you're super into giving them. And the way you're going to be super into giving them is if you're doing what the guy is into and he's responding. So I think you really have to tailor it to each person, and you need to go to like the basics where it's like 90% hand job and then like playing with his ball, like hands, like playing with his balls, and then like a lot of licking, and then your like literal, like your hand should be at the whole base of his penis, and then the only blow job you're giving is literally to the tip. So you're like giving a hand job, you can like go either direction, whatever, switch it up, and then you're using it on the top. So you should never be fucking deep throating.
No. You gotta work up those muscles.
100%. And also like some days, like if I've had coffee and I'm just like, you know, I'm a little queasy after coffee, I'm like, okay, no, it's not gonna be a good time. You just, I think you're trying to, I don't want to say get it over with, but I think you're really trying to get experience under your belt as fast as you can. And I don't know. There's
slow down, girl. You got time.
You should have fun with it too.
Yeah.
Like it should be like as much as you're like, oh, I want to get this with. I don't want to have sex right now. But like, also like, what are you getting out of this kind of stuff? Like, you should be having fun, and like the reason you want to like pleasure someone is not just you can have a trophy of saying, oh, I'm good at giving blowjobs. Like,
for me, it seems like she should have like a good guy friend.
Yeah, that she can like learn trusts.
Just from your personality, it seems like you need a good guy friend that you trust.
I feel like you'd be good with in the moment notes too.
And then someone that you can learn the basics from. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can have the blowjob pact with a dude, and you guys can like learn that.
And he can teach you things too.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that you need to not skip so many steps. And also when we talk about like enjoying giving blowjobs, it's because like
we like doing it.
Yeah. It's not like, I'm not saying that everyone should, it's not for everybody at all. Like it has to do with like gag reflex, your size of your mouth, like partner size, like there's all of these other factors that go
like into, it's like the main thing.
Exactly.
It's like what you're comfortable with and what they like.
Yeah. And so I don't think it doesn't need to be everybody's goal. If you don't like giving them, or you didn't enjoy it, or you've got like a really sensitive gag reflex, then like don't do it. You don't have to do that.
I think that's a takeaway from a lot of things.
Yeah. And we've had people who are like, well, Meghan, you'd be so upset if Monts suddenly turned around and decided he wouldn't go down anymore. I go, yeah, because like that's a deal breaker, and we've been dating for 4 years.
And
but there's I wouldn't be mad. It would be like a conversation and be like, let's talk about this in therapy.
There's a difference between being mad and then like being frustrated or being disappointed.
Yeah.
You don't have
or concerned if it's like if something is complete, if something is shifted and it's something like, oh, this is something we both really enjoy doing, and now you suddenly don't enjoy it. I'd be just as concerned if you were like, I really hate watching Love Island now, and I'd be like, what's wrong? We love Love Island. Like, what do you mean? So I think that's when people like come at us for the double standard. But yeah, it's deal breakers at the end of the day. Like, I'm not going to get into a relationship with somebody who, to be also super honest, I don't know if I'd be into a guy who didn't like getting blowjobs either. Like, I don't think I would. Yeah. I wouldn't date a guy who didn't go down on me. But like, if a guy didn't like blowjobs, I don't know if do you know what I mean? Because
because it's something that you really
it's something
enjoy,
that I enjoy, and it's not even about
you excited.
Exactly. And so I'm like, I don't even think that like, it would be definitely like a discussion, a conversation, something I have to like think on, but it's not just like these are my like, these are my sexual needs. Like, if you don't meet them, blah, blah, blah. But like, that's also fine. Like, if I met a guy who was like, I wouldn't be that's fine. As long as you tell me, then cool. Then
I get it.
It's a deal breaker. And like, I'm not going to be offended at anyone else's deal breakers.
Now I'm thinking about that the same. Yeah.
I've never thought about it like that, but because like I think that like it's something that like I know I'm good at and something that I enjoy doing, and it's like such a turn on for me that like I would then feel like my powers are being like not used, and they're like dormant, and like I'm gonna be like Elsa, and then like something one day it's just gonna like I have to let it go. Yeah, like let me run wild and free.
Yeah,
you know,
if a guy was like, I don't want to smack your ass, and I would be like,
no,
I liked having my ass smacked,
exactly.
Yeah.
I know. There's a lot of shit I think of that is like, not even like kinks, but like turn-ons that like aren't necessarily like about you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like stimulatory, or like, that's not even a word, but like but like they're just stuff I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't be into that. Yeah. At all. Like if it takes us like 10 times before we have sex, before like you'll even say like, anything like if you can't if you like refuse or talk like I just like don't want to hurt your feet, I'd be like I'm fucking out. Like I'll give like a learning curve. I mean, literally before Monts, the first time Monts and he like would not touch me with a 10-foot pole, and I kept being like, hello, like can we like hook up? And he was like trying, like he was being like very respectful, and I literally like called him out on it. I was like, I need you to stop being so fucking respectful. Like you're not like misreading into the situation. Like the very clear signs that I'm doing with like my tits being fully out is like I would like to have sex. Like this is not like a trap. But like there's definitely like you know, like not like a learning curve, but a getting to know each other and like a comfortability. But if it just gets to the point where like you're not comfortable with that stuff, that's fine. But that's going to be a hard out for me.
Yeah.
But the same way, if like I was like like a guy was super into something that I like really wasn't into, like if he was really into like peeing on me during sex, I'd be like,
I'm sorry, that's just not for me.
That's not for me. The same way it won't be for me if you're like, I can't pull your hair. I'd be like, I'm out. But yeah, I just think that there's nothing wrong with figure out what you like. This can be like your journey of like learning how to like give good blowjobs, but also learning like, do you like giving blowjobs? Right. Like, is this something fun for you?
If you don't like it, then that's not for you.
Yeah. You don't need, you really don't need to like it.
You don't need to like anything.
I know plenty of girls who like are not super into blowjobs and they give a blowjob maybe once a year, if that, and their boyfriends don't give a shit.
No one cares.
Like at all. And if they did care, they wouldn't be dating you.
Yeah.
It is time for Don't Blame Them. What do we got?
We've got someone calling with their own advice from the March Eminem episode where this girl, she found like another girl was DMing her that her boyfriend was cheating and stuff. So here's someone calling back to share their advice.
Okay.
Hey, Meghan. I'm calling for advice to the girl on season 5, episode 14 with Melisa. The one about her getting messages from girls telling her that her boyfriend's cheating on her and she didn't know what to do. So I've been in that same situation before. I was dating someone for many years. I think it was like 6-7 years. And I would get the same messages telling me that a girl telling me that my boyfriend was cheating on me. And I tried to look past it and say that, this girl's just being crazy. Mostly because he's the one that tried to convince me of that. He would tell me that he didn't know who these girls were. But like Melissa said, why would a random girl just target me? And I just want to say that I feel like it's because she doesn't have closure because he doesn't tell her the truth. And that's why she can't walk away from it. And I want to tell her that I never got closure. My ex-boyfriend never admitted what he did to me. He screwed me over really bad. I found out a lot of things. He never gave me closure, and I decided to just walk away and do something good for myself. And I've been happier ever since. I'm in a really happy relationship now. It's healthy. It's way different. And yeah, he's gaslighting you and he's manipulating you by crying in your arms. Trust me, girl, he's cheating on you. You can do so much better. Do this for yourself and move on and be happy. All right, thanks. Love you guys. Bye.
Hell yeah.
So sweet. I love that. Melissa also really likes how you said her name.
I did. I like how you say my name.
Me too. It was really nice. No, this is great. I mean, I think it's a very good point and I think that's what we were trying to make with saying like Snoop, where you need more evidence because
you can provide your own closure.
Which is, I think, a very great message in general. Yeah. That, like, as much as it will aid you and you really need that, if someone's hurting you, they also really don't care. Yeah. If, like, they're going to give you the information to help you move on. Like, so much of the time it's just about, like, protecting your ego and all of that stuff. And as much as also sometimes as much as you think that you want to know, do you know what I mean? Like, to have, like, a definitive answer and all of that sort of stuff. It doesn't really change how you feel. No. At all. But
you're going to be hurt either way.
Yeah. And I think we all think if we have closure, because closure sounds like wrapped up in a nice little bow. If we have that, that's like a essential thing to move on. And it's not. And also like, who knows if you're ever going to get it because you can't control the other person.
Exactly. But
I think this was a great success story of it.
I like you, gal.
And it's true. You're never going to find a case in which like, and also if someone ever came out like and like commented and was like, my boyfriend, this happens to me all the time. Like, it's just a total lie. Like, you're never going to hear, like, you're an idiot. Like, you're just completely looking past it. Like, it's not a thing.
No, it's not.
It's never ever been a thing. The whole like, oh, she's just crazy. Like, I don't know. I know like girls who are quote unquote crazy, and I can't name a single person I know who would ever DM a guy, like a girl being like, your boyfriend's cheating on you. I'm like, that was just fun. Random. Yeah. Like, hey, I got high now. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a thing. It's not a thing at all.
No, it's not. I hope you end up like this gal.
Me too. Happy new relationship. Things are good.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's 6-7 years, she said.
Yeah.
Oh, wild. Absolutely wild. And like she said, you'll find out she found out stuff like a lot like later on and all of that. Like it eventually will all come up. And then you're like, oh wow, I truly didn't need that to move on because I already did move on and now I have all the information. It's like,
whatever. I'm over it now.
Exactly. Well, that's it for our episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to call us and leave us a message for an upcoming one, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Join our Facebook group if you want to listen to the podcast ad-free, Stitcher Premium, YouTube. I would also really love if you guys left us reviews on the iTunes Apple Podcast
app. iTunes doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I would love if you guys left us reviews on the Apple Podcast app because sometimes I like to go read them. And I was reading them recently and like we haven't had any in a while.
Like any recent ones.
So I would love if you guys left a review. And if you're part of the Facebook group, maybe you want to go leave a review too. Not of our Facebook group because I don't think you can leave
you can.
Reviews of a Facebook group.
We've got like 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. I meant if you're from our Facebook group and you want to like head on over to leave us like a nice review, that would be wonderful. It's not bribery. I'm saying you're not going to be let in if you leave us a review. I'm just saying.
No,
you have to answer the questions correctly.
Also, thank you everyone that did leave reviews and told me happy birthday.
I get those ones I read. Yeah. Those are the last ones.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a couple months ago. But
it was. That's why I wanted more.
Yeah.
Like her birthday's in February. And if you guys want to follow us on socials, we'll have everything listed down below. Oh, buy my book. It comes out May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. It's a great time. If you want to pre-order it, it really helps with potential book tour and like lots of sales and stuff like that. So if you care enough, please do. And I think that's it, right?
That is it.
Okay, guys. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me. Executive produced by Melisa Monts. Camera operator Amanda Lechner. And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.